Well, if you clicked on this video, then it's time to do a tour of my tattoos. Let's start with the obvious. A hot air balloon, the obvious lighthouse, and a compass. Got some sparrows. One seems to have healed a little bit better than the other one. My chest tattoo was worked on by a couple of different people. I originally drew the first drawing and it has been modified a couple of times. This shoulder tattoo was done at a tattoo convention in 2018. It would have been April or so. This one is a super old Friday the 13th tattoo. As you can see, the blade didn't heal super duper great, but the rest of it stuck around. It's been there for probably 8 years or so. So these stitches around my wrist and the letters DILLIGAF, if you can see them somewhere. That was actually my first tattoo. Way back in the day. One of my very early tattoos is band-aids on my elbow because I tend to hurt myself a lot. My lower arm, I've got a camera with film running out of it that turns into Admit 1 tickets, and that's to commemorate the beginning of my career in photography. I started off with shooting live music, and it was definitely some of the best times of my life, so I'm really glad that I have a tattoo that I absolutely love to commemorate it. This tattoo is 10 years old, and it's stuck around really well for a decade, don't you think? I hope to add stage lights to the background so I can have some beams of different colors to spice up this arm a little bit once I am ready to do that. I was gonna get light sources tattooed around my camera, but then I let some guy do this horrible light bulb stick and poke, and I thought maybe if I do this little candle on myself I can redeem it, but I decided no more shitty stick and pokes around my nice tattoo, so I'm gonna get those covered up this year. And I've got an on-on detonator switch behind my ear because I don't have an off switch. So this one is the cover of an album I love, and it's also a painting from an artist in Iran, which is also the country where I'm from. Protest the Hero decided to use this image as the cover of their album artwork because they felt that the colors represented the varied sounds that you could find on their album Scurrilous. Scurrilous means making or spreading scandalous claims about someone with the intention of damaging their reputation. And the reason the artist chose to name the painting this and create this theme was to represent the lies of the human tongue, and all the animals in this image are running away from that human tongue. As well, the bass player at the time's grandfather was the painter, so there's a little tidbit. So this one was from when I was living in Toronto. I moved to Toronto so that I could see one of my favorite bands play live more often, and that was Protest the Hero. And so I got the CN Tower in an ice cube to represent the lyric, "She's cold as ice." Because you know what? Toronto winters are pretty intense. And unfortunately not applied super well. It was done by an apprentice who I became friends with, and it was a very strange scenario because his brother actually drew the tattoo and then he tried to do the tattoo itself. It was a strange scenario. Will definitely be covered up at some point because the CN Tower doesn't even look like that, and the ice cube isn't very realistic, but alas, it's a memory. This one is a song lyric from the Cancer Bats, and that's where the symbol at the bottom also comes from. Every day I'm alive is the best day of my life, is the lyrics, and it's from the song PMA Till I'm DOA. Positive mental attitude until I'm dead on arrival by the Cancer Bats. This one was done by one of my favorite tattoo artists in Montreal, and it's modeled after Violet Jessup. Violet Jessup is nicknamed the Unsinkable Woman because she was on both the Titanic as well as another famous shipwreck called the Britannic, and she survived both, so people call her the Unsinkable Woman. This is just a really shitty line that I tattooed around my thigh that isn't even really complete. I just kind of did a half-ass job of that. And then kind of messed up this awesome tattoo from one of my favorite artists that I've had, and it's a song lyric from the Bronx. I shoot to kill, I don't fuck around, and the gun is a replica of a Wyatt Earp gun. It's got these nice little filigree designs in the gun with some cool ribbons, so it's kind of old schoolish. Would anyone like some peppermint white chocolate fudge? I would. I've got this little Nike on my ankle, which is getting covered up very, very soon. My second tattoo ever was this foot tattoo for Shark, and it was a t-shirt from the band Gallows back in the year 2008. The tattoo was never super great to begin with, and feet don't really keep color well, but I went back quite a few times and I really tried to make that color stick. It's not bad. You know, I probably should have gone back and finished the actual sunset for the background rather than just having these weird little purple streams, but man, oh man, was that painful, and I was too young to understand what the heck I was in for. But Gallows themselves did see the tattoo, and it made an impact, and it was quite a memory to have when I met the band in 2008.
When you live in each other's pockets for like 2 years.
Oh, I can't even
like,
imagine.
fuck you guys, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like being with
see
your
you later.
siblings and you're literally with like some
Yeah,
of your
exactly,
siblings, so it doesn't. Yeah, I know what you mean.
We
I've
got
got
to blows
two sisters.
yesterday. Like fucking what, half an hour before we go on stage, and we're like, fuck you dude. Whatever. See you later.
Here is a really interesting one. I got this one tattooed by the singer of Gallows, but the song lyric and the microphone are both from The Ghost of a Thousand, so it was a very British themed tattoo. It's only rock and roll. This is my religion. That's from the song Knees, Toes, Teeth by The Ghost of a Thousand. And if you have ever seen the music video, he uses the same microphone. And Frank Carter from Gallows tattooed this a few days after he quit the band, actually, after he quit Gallows. I gave myself a couple of little stick and poke tattoos on my ankle. The daisy on the left was for Big D and the Kids Table. They wrote this song called My Girlfriend's on Drugs, and one of the lyrics is, "She screams, I'm a daisy." So I got a daisy. And then the bomb is for Rancid's song Time Bomb. This is another little stick and poke I did on myself. And this is for the Dreadnought song Cider Road, and that's a local Vancouver band, and this one definitely needs a touch up. I did a pretty awful job. It was one of my first stick and pokes that I did on myself after I did a couple of these really horrible stars around here. So you can see the actual tattoo artist stars, and then you can see my horrible stars. And this is from the Bloodhound Gang, and the song is Screwing You on the Beach at Night, and the song lyric goes, I would show up to your pottery class dressed like a pirate with John Waters' mustache on a unicorn that shits your name in the stars. So that's a unicorn, and I don't know if you can tell, but he's a little constipated. And these are the stars. This is a more recent piece that is still in progress. This little shark guy was done at the same time as the little sparrow swallows on my chest. Also not the greatest healing, and doesn't look super great, but it's a memory, and I incorporated it into my larger leg tattoo that is in progress, the great cover-up of my lifetime. My left leg was previously a world map, and I didn't really think that one through because ultimately it is a very big project, and even after the first round of line work was done, I was unhappy with it. Just wasn't done correctly, and I decided to call it a day on that. So I did some laser tattoo removal, quite a few sessions of that, which is expensive, painful, and I definitely don't recommend it. So did some of that, then it was time for a cover-up, and I tried a bunch of different artists until I really felt like I was happy before I actually was ready to commit to the full cover-up. So once I found Oodles of Tattoodles, she did a couple of other pieces on me, and I was super happy with the way the cover-up looked when she did the ice cream cone with the tentacle. So I decided that it was time to finally do my full leg sleeve underwater. There we go. It's the Crabbo with the Stabbo. That's right, I have a meme tattooed on me. This is a Dexter-themed girl. Since it's part of the greater cover-up of my leg, we made her a little bit zombie-flavored, if you will. So there's some stitches and stuff to kind of make sense of the lines that we're going through, but we gave her the little bows so that it kind of felt Dexter-y, especially with the knife. I want to be the girl with the most cake. So she's got cake, and her buddy here's got the knife. This lantern was a flash piece that my artist had already drawn up, and she had posted it on her Instagram page, and I just loved it. So I decided that I would get it on my thigh. So just like me, this candle is being burnt at both ends, and I tend to take on a lot more than I can actually do, so this theme made a lot of sense to me. But the actual execution of the candle and the moth being attracted to the flame wasn't super duper great. It didn't heal well, and this was by far my worst healing tattoo that I've ever had. It got infected, and when I tried to talk to the artist about it being infected, he denied that it was infected, even though my doctor gave me antibiotics. It was a mess. And so I never went back for touch-ups. I just wasn't super happy with how it all worked out, and considering every single tattoo I've gotten from this artist didn't heal well, I decided it was time to call it a day. For my whole life, my feelings have always been a question mark, whether to me or to other people or my family. Nobody's really understood my feelings, so I thought mixed feelings. They're as much of a confusion to you as they are to me, except in those slight moments where they are properly aligned. My lower back is a bridge, as well as the skyline of the city that I grew up in being taken over by dinosaurs. It's a bit of a reference to something that happened to me as a kid, but I'll keep that as a private joke.